An urban legend is a story that has hazy provenance, with little to no supporting evidence, and is widely believed to be true. Such absurd tales have appeared in WWE history, and a few of them have managed to endure since their inception. The following urban legends in this video have sparked discussion within wrestling circles, and in some cases have come to be recognized as reality. Some of the tales are fanciful conspiracy, whilst others are real paradoxes that have captured people's attentions for years. 2. Ultimate Warriors. There has long been a belief that when Ultimate Warrior returned to WWE at WrestleMania 8, it was not the same man behind the face paint. This idea may be the longest running urban legend in WWE history. The fact that the former WWE champion resurfaced with new hair, a considerably leaner physique, and singlet ring gear rather than trunks led some people to believe that the old Warrior had not made a return. However, the superstar who saved Hulk Hogan from Papa Shango and Sid Justice was indeed also the one who won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 6 by beating the Hulkster. The Ultimate Warrior has always been the late Jim Hellwig. The Rockers were fired by the WWE in 1988. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, a dynamic team that made their professional wrestling debut in 1988 as the Rockers, paved the path for aerial performers and smaller, more maneuverable superstars. However, the Rockers had already been hired by the WWE a year prior to their 1988 debut, when they were released due to an alleged altercation at a bar. Michaels and Jannetty were encouraged to socialize with other superstars once they joined WWE, which helped them catch Jimmy Jack Funk's eye. Funk, who was chewing on glass at the time after consuming too much booze, urged the Rockers to exhibit their ability to party. Michaels became restless after some hesitation and demanded that Funk back off. Finally, I grabbed a glass that was sitting on the table and I broke it on my head and said, "There, you satisfied?" And I left, Michaels said in a reference to the event. Jimmy Jack Funk is accused of spreading the rumour that Michaels and Jannetty wrecked the bar after the wild night there. Funk's story was exaggerated, and as a result, the Rockers were indeed dismissed. The NWO was sent by Mr. McMahon to kill WCW. When Kevin Nash and Scott Hall initially came to WCW, rumours circulated that they were still bound by their WWE contracts. This urban legend intensified as the New World Order and Hulk Hogan were introduced. Were they McMahon-sent spies designed to infiltrate and ultimately destroy WCW? It seems like a ridiculous idea at first. After making the switch to Hollywood, Hulk Hogan revitalized his career, and the New World Order rose to the top of the sports entertainment food chain. WCW outperformed WWE in the television ratings for 83 straight weeks, largely due to the NWO and Goldberg. However, once Goldberg's unbeaten run came to an end, and the infamous finger poke of doom took place, WCW started to decline and never fully recovered. It is common knowledge that Hall and Nash received rich offers to compete for WCW, and the NWO eventually increased the promotion's appeal. The AOL Time Warner merger, which saw Ted Turner fired, and the conglomerate's decision to stop investing in professional wrestling were eventually to blame for the organization's downfall. In a single sitting, Andre the Giant consumed 156 beers. Andre the Giant allegedly had 156 beers in a single sitting, according to the late Mike Graham. The assertion was made during a discussion on Legends of Wrestling, with other panelists Dusty Rhodes and Michael Hayes swiftly corroborating it. Any normal person would find it inconceivable to ever consider trying such a feat, but the first ever WWE Hall of Famer was anything but a typical person. The late Tim White, a close friend of Andre's, acknowledged that the behemoth was more than capable of downing enough suds and food to fill a frat house, despite the difficulty in verifying such a precise number of beers drunk. Even still, that wasn't usual Andre behaviour. White stated he'd go into a restaurant and eat 12 steaks and 15 lobsters. He didn't do that often, but if he felt like putting on a show and having some laughs, he'd go ahead and do that. To keep ECW afloat, WWE loaned it money. WWE and WCW fought each other for control of the sports entertainment market and television ratings since 1996, when the Monday Night War first started. Competitors frequently switched between Paul Heyman's ECW and the two wrestling titans. Heyman, who frequently engaged in direct conflict with WWE, was brash, opinionated, and made no apologies for ECW's distinctive style of competition. Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, and Paul Heyman attended WWE In Your House Mind Games and were recognized by Mr. McMahon and WWE superstars while sitting ringside. With ECW competitors storming Monday Night Raw in February 1997 and engaging in a melee with WWE superstars, particularly Jerry the King Lawler. An urban tale about Mr. McMahon intentionally promoting ECW and lending Paul Heyman money to keep his organization in operation was born as a result of the fight. During the height of WCW success, the organizations were in conflict. ECW was attempting to establish itself as a significant force in sports entertainment, whilst WWE fought to win the Monday Night War. Hardcore legend Tommy Dreamer stated that both WWE and ECW needed a boost. WWE was getting their butt kicked by WCW, and they needed something that said you have to tune into Monday Night Raw because anything could happen. Paul Heyman said we were working on a deal with WWE to get us national exposure, but not a lot of people know about it. I think it was Paul, Mr. McMahon, and Bruce Pritchard, the head of talent relations at the time. That was it. Macho Man gave Hulk Hogan a black eye. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake competed for the World Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 9 by teaming up against the $1 Million Man and IRS. Hogan had not participated in competition for almost a year, but his comeback was marred by a very obvious black eye. Despite Money Inc. being disqualified from the match, they left with the belts. However, the WWE Universe couldn't help but wonder what caused Hogan's eye to nearly swell shut. The Hulkster failed to deflect attention from his shiner, even after he fought Yokozuna to win the WWE Championship that night. What caused it then? There was a second Mega Powers explosion according to legend, and according to one rumour, Macho Man Randy Savage accosted and punched the Hulkster when he returned. Savage and Miss Elizabeth had recently divorced, and Macho Man held Hogan accountable for the breakdown of his marriage. Hogan, however, asserted in his book that he had a black eye as a result of a jet ski accident prior to the event. It's a tough pill to accept, even though the version in which Savage clocked Hogan seems more thrilling. Hogan spoke about the terrifying jet ski accident the day before WrestleMania and the thought that he might not be able to perform in his autobiography. However, the Hulkster allegedly told the doctor the black eye wasn't genuine in order to be certified for competition at the grandest stage of them all. Bret Hart was in on the Montreal Screwjob. There has always been the belief that everyone engaged in the Montreal Screwjob staged the whole thing. The event has been thoroughly investigated, and Mr. McMahon, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H have all publicly admitted their individual parts in the incident. However, there is still the persistent notion that Bret the Hitman Hart was truly complicit in the entire incident. According to some theories, it was a component of a larger plan to demolish WCW, and the whole thing was intended to make Mr. McMahon the real authority behind WWE. A select few fans have gone a little too far in their analysis of what happened in Montreal, and have concocted an urban legend and conspiracy theory that seems almost ludicrous. The Montreal Screwjob did not involve an elaborate plan to make fans despise Mr. McMahon, advance Stone Cold Steve Austin, or make Bret Hart the most popular superstar in WCW. The Screwjob was precisely what it appeared to be, a corporate decision. The Hardcore title was the smashed Winged Eagle belt. When Mr. McMahon handed the Hardcore Championship to Mankind, it was clear that it was a mangled replica of the traditional Winged Eagle WWE title, with broken plates patched together by duct tape. The notion that the Hardcore Championship was created from a WWE Championship that formerly belonged to Hulk Hogan has persisted since the title's introduction. What exactly transpired, and why did the title get destroyed? On November 25th, 1989, Mean Gene Okerlund spoke with Mr. Perfect and The Genius on Saturday night's main event. Mr. Perfect was kneeling with a hammer in hand, shattering the WWE Championship, whilst the cap and gown wearing Genius pranced around the interview room. The sole purpose of Perfect's actions was to declare his desire for a WWE title shot. The video definitely supports the theory that the Hardcore title and the belt that Mr. Perfect destroyed were the same. Even Mick Foley, the first Hardcore champion, honestly doesn't know whether they are. Mick said, "I have no idea, but it makes perfect sense." If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing. I've been Tesh from Turnbuckle Times. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.